So I want to say hello, everyone, and I learned a lot today, and definitely how we eat and how active we are, it's extremely important for our health. But also another major issue that defines health is where we live. Actually, where you live, the neighborhood you live is a very important predictor of people's health. And so in my school, we very much spent time to think about healthy cities. It is a very important topic, and it very much defines if people are going to be, how active people are, how healthy people are. So coming back to Dick's question, we talk a lot about green cities, and we talk a lot about alternative modes of transportation, and not only cars, but be able to walk and be able to bike. But when you do that, you want certain things from your built environment. You want to feel safe, you want to feel comfortable, and you want to also feel joy. And there are a number of factors that define that. Where we place our activities, if we place them in nodes or along endless strips, it means how much we can walk. If we have trees, if we have an urban forest on our streets, it means comfort. Will we be able to have some shade to walk? If we have ground floor uses where people can have natural surveillance of the street, it may mean that we feel more safe. So these are all important factors that people take into consideration in deciding if they're going to walk, if they're going to bike, or if they're going to possibly walk to the bus stop and wait for the bus and use public transportation. And I have to say that there is a lot of discussion about Americans being quite more obese than many other places, and there is a great part of that, not everything, because definitely what we eat can make us fat. That's a major issue. But the way we have designed our cities to have, sprawl, or to be extremely automobile-oriented, or to have land uses that do not support walking and biking, has a lot to do with not being healthy.
Let's come back to that after. I want Maria to jump in, because the LA River has been an enormous, I would like to say, asset to this city, but the opposite is exactly true.
Right. So yes, we have a river. Wow. Los Angeles River. So the river starts in the San Fernando Valley in Woodland Hills, Canoga Park area, and ends in Long Beach. So it's 51 miles, and it is the reason, as Dr. Jackson said, the reason why the city of Los Angeles was formed, is specifically in downtown. And what's happened over the years is it's become a back door. It's become a space where people really could care less. And it's sad, because here we are in a drought, and it is our flood control channel. Now, last I checked, we should probably be, I don't know, call me crazy, save a little bit of water, but instead, the river has been concretized to push all of our water as quickly and fastly and efficiently out to the ocean without a blink of an eye. And we want to change that. The city and the county are in lockstep to work their magic and be partners with the state and with our friends who concretize the river, the federal government. So we are trying to work quickly to figure out ways to create a connected linear space across the entire 51 miles of the river, which crosses through 15 cities. LA is one of the 15 cities. It's within the county of Los Angeles, but like I mentioned, the federal government is a player in this picture of the future as well. So my nonprofit organization, the LA River Revitalization Corporation, is moving the ball forward as best we can to create a connected linear space for recreational opportunities, along with water infrastructure that's needed to capture every drop that we can through the river.
So Maria, we've seen a fourfold increase in the consumption of antidepressants in the United States by adults, no, by actually people in the prime of life, just in the last 25 years. And one of the things that people need to be doing more of is physical activity, and particularly in green spaces and places where they can get out. But people would say, oh, I'm afraid to go there. There are homeless people and I don't feel safe. And the first rule of anyone taking their family anywhere is it going to be safe if we fix this up?
Absolutely, because why are we fixing it up if it's not going to be safe? So I think what's exciting is the more we can create these connections, because currently the 51 miles, technically 30 or so of the miles are connected. They are connected by a bike path in the lower portion of the river from Long Beach up to, let's call it Maywood. There is a bike path there that the county operates and maintains. But then once you get to Linwood, you have nowhere to go. There's no way of going anywhere into downtown Los Angeles. So what we're trying to do and work with folks like Metro, like the county, like the city and the state, to figure out ways to create infrastructure and bike paths in these gap areas. A lot of the gaps are in the San Fernando Valley and are in downtown. So one exciting project that I'm very proud to be a part of is bringing more eyeballs to the river, but as crazy as it sounds, in the in-channel in downtown.
So maybe this is a thing, you have a message for our students about bringing eyeballs to the river?
I would say the message is to help move the ball forward and say we want this. The more I can have support from the public to push the ball forward. Mayor Garcetti is very supportive. Mayor Garcia in Long Beach is very supportive. And we want to try to have the various authority figures aware that people want to be connected to each other through the communities along the 51 miles, but also to create and bring more eyeballs to the river so that there can be less concern as to what's safe and what's not safe.
Anastasia, I was talking to the pediatric residents, and one of them said to me, you know, my shift starts at 6 o'clock at night, and I live in Santa Monica. I have to leave about 4:45 to make sure I can go from Santa Monica to the Ronald Reagan Hospital. It takes me sometimes an hour to an hour and a quarter. I could do it in 27 minutes. Now, we need to have a bike route that goes from Ronald Reagan Hospital. It also needs to go from Santa Monica. And one of the problems is what Ryan Snyder calls the triangle of death, that a stretch between, I think it's Broadway and Ohio, where it's very dangerous when their students are trying to get, or faculty or others are trying to get across Santa Monica. I've been unhappy that the university hasn't really the medical center hasn't shown real aggressive leadership for that bike route between the two hospitals, because all the pediatric residents want it, the nursing school wants it, a lot of us want it, it needs to happen. But business interests are saying bicycle routes are bad for business.
Well, this is a very narrow view of what is good for business, I would say. I think that we have seen in the last 10 years a sea change in how a lot of people think in Los Angeles. I mean, Los Angeles has been the prototypical city of the automobile. We definitely have more cars and more highways than almost every other city. Close to 1/3 of our urban form is streets. But we have seen the mayor's office, bicycle coalitions fighting for more bikes, and now there is a commitment from the city. We have seen most of the plans now in the city are transit-oriented development plans, near transit. And so I'm quite optimistic. And of course, what Maria was talking about, the river, we have seen new parks. There are the 50 new parks initiative that Parks and Recreation Department is putting together. So we have all these things happening in the classic city of the automobile. So I think that
20 seconds sum up.
Go Team River, go River. Please support us as we're trying to move the ball forward, as I've said many times, to get the authorities to really allow us to imagine the future of what our city can become through the Los Angeles River.
Anastasia, 20 seconds, sum up.
Identify all the opportunities in the built environment, the empty spaces, the empty parking lots, and convert them into meaningful spaces for people where people can be active. So in addition to the river, we have parklets, we have parking lots, we have too much street space that we can build more bikeways. So go Los Angeles.
Los Angeles has the best bicycling weather in the United States of America and arguably in the whole world. It should be the bicycling capital. What better way to reduce congestion, save money, save the planet, reduce fossil fuel use, and put a smile on everybody's face? That's what we need to do.